Tensions explode. Will the U.S. enter the Iran-Israel war? Narrator: the world watches anxiously as the conflict between Israel and Iran threatens to ignite a much larger war, one that could pull the United States directly into the battlefield. International media outlets are now warning, if America officially joins this war, the consequences could be catastrophic. Cut to scenes of protests in Washington, D.C. and New York. Narrator: even though President Donald Trump has approved plans for military action against Iran, he remains silent about whether a direct U.S. assault is imminent. But across America, hundreds of citizens are taken to the streets. In New York, in front of the White House, and even outside Trump's personal residence, large anti-war protests have erupted. Many Americans fear this war could escalate into a full-scale regional or even global conflict. Footage: Israeli airstrikes on Tehran. Narrator: it all began on June 3rd, when Israel launched airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites in Tehran. What started as targeted strikes has now evolved into a dangerous tit-for-tat war between the two nations. 4 days, missiles, drones, and counterattacks have lit up the skies over Iran and Israel. And now, the United States stands at a crossroad. Cut to Trump speaking to media, silent visuals of military briefings. Narrator: according to reports from Bloomberg News, top U.S. military officials have begun preparing for potential strikes inside Iran. While President Trump has not confirmed a military engagement, he has authorized planning and preparation. This means war may not be a question of if, but when. Footage of Senator Lindsey Graham speaking. Narrator: in Washington, lawmakers are deeply divided. Senator Lindsey Graham, a close ally of Trump, fully supports a U.S. strike. He said, "President Trump is doing the right thing. Iran must not be allowed to possess nuclear weapons. I support a full-scale assault on Iran's Fordo nuclear facility. Israel is doing the right thing, and we should stand with them." Cut to peaceful protests in Manhattan. Narrator: but across the country, the American public is pushing back. In Manhattan, hundreds of protesters marched against the war, holding signs like, "Don't go to war with Iran, stop funding genocide, no blood for power." These protests reflect growing fears that another U.S. war in the Middle East could bring economic instability, loss of life, and regional chaos. Cut to military radar and air defense systems in Israel and Iran. Narrator: meanwhile, the battlefield is expanding. On Thursday morning, sirens blared across northern Israel and the Jordan Valley. The Israeli military claimed it intercepted 2 Iranian drones. On the same day, Iran claimed to have shot down multiple drones over Tehran and arrested 18 Israeli spies from the city of Mashhad in northeastern Iran. Closing visuals, tension-filled music, maps, and news headlines. Narrator: so, what happens now, with Iran-Israel warfare intensifying? The question is no longer just about those two nations. It is about the future of the entire region. If America officially enters this war, it could trigger a massive regional war involving Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq, a spike in oil prices, and global economic disruption. Rising tensions between nuclear powers and global alliances. The Biden administration and the world now face a dangerous moment. The choices made in the coming days may determine whether the Middle East burns or cools. Outro slide. Subscribe for more updates on global conflict, peace talks, and world politics. Narrator: this has been a breaking report on the Iran-Israel crisis and the looming shadow of U.S. involvement. Subscribe now and stay informed. The world is watching.